Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. You can't teach an old gamer new tricks. I'm Ryan, and with me, as always, is my good buddy Rob.
Hey there, how you doing?
Hey,
Hey.
hey, how's it going this week?
Oh, going great, going great. Beautiful summer day for a change.
Yeah, yeah, we had a little rain there for a little bit, but for the most part, we've had some pretty good weather. The past, during the week there, we were up in the 30s.
We were. It was very, very warm.
I liked it.
And there was video game news, so we got stuff to talk about.
As always. Yeah, so our favorite console tournament is still going on. This week, what did we have this week? We had PS3 versus Xbox 360 was one of them.
Yep.
And I think we only had two going this week, because the Commodore 64 was last week.
Okay.
I think. If not,
yeah, I think we missed a day there where we left it up and didn't put a new one on. That's probably it.
So, because it went Commodore 64 and Atari 5200, and and Commodore 64 came out on top with that.
Right.
And then this week, it happens already. The PS3 versus Xbox 360, and Xbox 360 took that. And right now we have TurboGrafx 16 versus Neo Geo.
That's right.
And
it's a close one.
It's actually a surprisingly close race.
Yep.
Oh, knocking stuff over.
I don't find that too surprising. The Neo Geo was an amazing system. I think no one had it because it was always that rich cousin you had living in another part of the country. Whereas the TurboGrafx wasn't as popular because no one knew what it was.
Yeah.
Or a lot of people didn't know.
But everyone tried it because it was at the front of every Radio Shack in every mall.
That's right. Everyone knew who Keith Courage was.
Yeah.
That was always the game in there, right? And now it's just as expensive to collect for as the Neo Geo. So.
Yeah. What was that other Bonk? Is that another?
Yep, Bonk's Adventure.
Bonk's Adventure? That was another.
Yep. And then they had a lot of shooters. All sorts of fantastic, great shooters. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was, a little surprised how close that one is. But, the one, someone put a comment on there, he's like, man, Neo Geo is great, but no one could afford it.
And that's true.
That's exactly it. Like, I tried it. When I played it, it was a friend of a friend, basically, who had it. And he worked.
You played in the arcade. You'd play the MVS.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and they had that arcade box where you could choose you could choose the game you wanted to play.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing behind them. Is the arcade version was the exact same as the home version, right? That was the first system to do it.
Yeah,
the cartridges were as big as a Volkswagen bus.
Now those are cartridges.
Those are cartridges, man. Back in my day,
when they're bigger than a VHS tape. That's a cartridge.
That's right.
I don't think they actually were. It was close.
They were pretty close. They were surprisingly big, that's for sure. So is correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you will, but is this the last round of the first?
One more.
One more. Okay.
Yeah, one more. It's the Wii versus the Wii U. It's coming up next.
Could we just declare a winner on that one, or?
No, we'll let the people have their voice.
Let the people have their voice. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But this week we will be starting round 2.
Very nice. Good to hear.
Yeah. I'm pretty I thought the voting was dropping off, but I think it's just if people aren't sure of a system, they don't pick one, because definitely the PS3 versus Xbox was one of our most voted in.
Yep.
And
it's one that everyone had a favorite, right? There's no one who was like, oh, they're both pretty cool. Although that's what I said, but I didn't have either of them during the heydays, so. I
Yeah.
got them both later.
Oh, same. I I got my 360. I picked up the Star Wars Connect bundle.
Oh yeah, you bet.
Yeah, because I wanted to be a mother freaking Jedi.
That is honestly still one of the coolest collector's editions
Oh,
out there.
I think I wore out mine just turning it off and on. Yeah, just all the R2 sounds when you turn it off and on and open the CD tray and yeah.
Yep, I got mine staring at me right here, just on the dresser.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, you betcha.
All right. Well, let's move on to news.
Yours.
News, everybody. So the Amico special event happened this week.
It did.
And
after a little bit of a delay there.
Yeah, it was supposed to happen on Monday? No, Tuesday.
Yeah, it was supposed to happen on the 4th. It ended up getting moved to the 5th.
Yeah, because they said they got some last minute news that needed to be in this new event. I didn't end up watching the event, but did they say for sure what that news was, or it was?
I can speculate to what it was. They never really talked about which news was the big news, but I can give it the 5-minute go around here if you like.
Absolutely.
The Amico fanboy. Well, it started off with kind of a montage of in television throughout history and first ofs. They were the first 16-bit system, which isn't quite. They refer to 16-bit a little different than we do, I think. But
okay,
they were the first system to have a licensed game, officially licensed game. It was MLB Baseball.
Oh.
They were the first to have voice, obviously. Who can forget that? But it started off with Tommy Tallarico. Hard name to say. He came up on stage, and by stage, I mean wherever he was recording it, and told a story about why he'd picked it 10/10/2020 for the date was because his younger sister had passed away on October 10th, and he promised his parents that he would release the system on that day. And then he broke down a little bit and said, but there's just no way to release it with the pandemic going on in a state that they would feel is even remotely comfortable. So they pushed it out to April 3rd, 2021. And he did chuckle after that and said, well, that makes it 4, 3, 2, 1. Saying, that was pretty cool. And so that'll be the Founders Edition will be April 3rd. They're aiming for normal pre-orders will be April 15th. So that's what they're aiming for now. He says it's fluid. It may come sooner or later, but that's kind of what they can see. And then they showed off a bunch of games, and what they did do, I mean, the games play was neither here nor there. Like they were showing Astro Smash, and there was another one, Rage Fury, I think it was called. That was like an what's that R-type looking game. Okay. And I went all over in our video on the page there. If you guys want a full breakdown of what it was, you can check our YouTube or Facebook there. But they showed quite a few games, graphics from here to some right up here. Right, the R-type game looked amazing. But what they showed that I really appreciated as a video game nerd as I am, was the developers. They had a whole bunch of showing of the developers, interviews with the developers, what video gaming meant to the developers. And they kind of, you can tell the Amico, the love that's behind it for everyone who's involved with it. And that to me means a lot more than a whole bunch of gameplay that, you can make up on the spot anyway or show cinematics of or anything. You can see the legitimate love and care that's going into this system. They also showed, because a lot of people had been complaining that they didn't show the thing turning on. They've got a whole bunch of captured gameplay, but Tommy turned on an Amico on a TV, awesome. So everyone could see it, played a little bit of slalom, showed that the controller was ambidextrous because he's left-handed.
Right.
So you could turn it around and play it just the other way.
Awesome. And
then they had a little bit of an interview with the Earthworm Jim developers, and they showed an animated sequence with Earthworm Jim playing. Like it was like 15 seconds worth of what the game animation will look like.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't, they weren't actually playing it, but you could see your Earthworm Jim, because they had made a joke right before then that yeah, and we can show our new Earthworm Jim game that's a match 3 mini game. And he's like, no, that's not what it is. And we all laughed because a lot of people had thought that that's what was going to happen, was they were going to make some sort of mini game or stupid thing that had nothing to do with Earthworm Jim. But no, it is a platformer. You're Earthworm Jim in a spacesuit, just like everyone, like it should be, right? So,
right.
And then he did a little bit of a Q&A at the end of it. And he talked about people had sent in questions, and he answered some of them. And one of the ones he answered that a lot of people have asked is, are you going to be getting, there's an AD&D game like Pillars of Eternal something or another. It was really popular on the television. And Tron Deadly Discs. And he said, we're in talks with Disney for Tron Deadly Discs, and that AD&D game is going to be a launch title. And everyone went, because I guess it's a fairly big game. And yeah, it ended off kind of like that. And it was really well done. It was an hour, 20 minutes, which for one of these state of play things is
that's
mind-blowing, right?
Even the big one when Sony finally revealed the console there, that one pushed an hour, but it still didn't break it.
They showed a lot of things that you don't see typically in these kind of things, and it kind of plays to Sony being, or in television being who they are. Like, this is the care and love, and this is all the people who are behind the scenes, and we want you to see that. So, and as for the date getting pushed out to April, it's the right choice. I mean, there's no award to be won for releasing something. Like, they're going to have one shot at this for the release, right?
Yeah.
They have to make a certain amount of money on these to come back. And if it's not completed, don't do it. Right? I mean, and honestly, like the October, where they were going to release, I know this isn't why they're postponing it, but if they were going to release right around the same time that Xbox and Sony were going to releasing a console, somewhere around there, right? Like, we're still kind of in the dark. You don't need to compete with that. Like, that's...
It's true, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, and that was basically it. Like I said, if you want more of an in-depth thing, I've got a video up on our page. Go check it out at the grumpyoldgamers.com.
I'll you know what? I'll even include a link in the show notes there.
Nice.
Anyone who wants to check it out.
Nice.
Well, excellent. I'm glad that that it wasn't a disappointment.
I'm still excited about it, which is a good sign.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. But moving right along.
Let's brilliant segue, by the way. That was great.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of like tripping into a room, right?
Whoa! Hey, everybody! Hey, video games.
So, Microsoft Xcloud, their project Xcloud, will be launching on September 15th on Android devices. And they're having some issues with Apple. And, they say it's to do with testing and, the Apple's App Store policies. But really, it's coming down to Apple's not getting a piece. It will be a free app on their store, and they're not going to get any piece of of that pie, right?
I would guess so. That's a lot of people are speculating that.
Yeah. I guess Valve's Steam Link, it took nearly a year for it to be approved on Apple. So hopefully Microsoft has been on this for a while.
Yep. So are you excited about this, about xCloud? Like, this gets included if you have Ultimate, right? Is that
yes. It is. So, you're going to be able to use it on a PC, right? Like run the xCloud streaming, like on a laptop or something. Like,
I would think so.
Like, because
That's
it's supposed to be just like Stadia, right? Like the same idea as Stadia.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to Google that right now. Xcloud.
Because I mean, in this one, they're just talking about doing it on Android and mobile devices. Um, but I'm pretty sure.
Yep. Yep. You bet.
Okay.
Back in March, they were testing Project xCloud game streaming for Windows 10 PCs.
So
So I'm
then I'm
assuming
super
that's.
excited. So, I do traveling for work sometimes.
Hmm.
I will just install the Microsoft app and be able
Yeah.
to play. Yeah.
No, it's great. It's more and more what Stadia should have been
Mm-hmm.
at the bat.
I'll
And it's going to
have,
work on every Android, not just like 6 of them.
yeah. And,
So,
I don't have to buy any of the games. I've got, there's a whole library to choose from.
yep. Yep.
So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Um, I've talked to a couple people who've tried it, and they say it's as as good or better than Stadia. So,
Boy, set that bar super high. Does it support 4K?
oh, that's a good question. Um,
Not that, I mean, Stadia barely supports 4K, but.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot. 8-Bit Do announced that they're launching an official uh, XCloud controller too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Interesting.
yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting. But I have an Apple phone. You have an Apple phone. I won't be playing
Yep.
it on my phone anytime
No,
soon.
no. And that's a shame. But,
Yeah.
you know, honestly, like, we're not away from home lots where we could be playing games anyway. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
we're going on large
Yeah.
vacations or anything. So, and I mean, if you're throwing it in with Ultimate, I wonder if you can get it without getting without getting Ultimate. Like if they're going to have an add-on, if you just have Game Pass for PC, if they're going to have an add-on for it, right?
Well, I've kind of heard that they're looking at phasing out the separateness of it, and then it's just going to be that one for
Okay.
like. Yeah, I think there'll still be. I think it's going to be Game Pass and then Game Pass Ultimate,
Okay.
because I don't think they'll force people who don't game on PC to get the ultimate of it. But ultimate now encompasses gold as well,
Right.
and
Right.
that's apparently going away. So
Oh, time.
basically, you'll have Game Pass, and gold will be part of
Hmm.
that, and then Game Pass Ultimate to have console and PC access.
Right. Okay. Oh, good. Very exciting time to be a gamer.
Absolutely.
Just like being an exciting time to be a Pikmin gamer. Am I right?
Well, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, I'm being serious. I know I sounded like I was being sarcastic, but it's why don't you tell us all about Pikmin 3 for the Switch?
Yeah, well, so Nintendo stealth dropped, uh, was it Wednesday or Thursday, that Pikmin 3 Deluxe is coming to the Switch on October 30th. Just like, I think it was a tweet with
Yeah.
with the video.
Hey, by
And
the way.
yeah, hey, by the way, guys, guess what? This is coming out. So, I mean, I just recently, like within last year, finished it. So I won't be rushing out to buy it anytime
Mhm.
soon. But
Right, right.
um, it's a game I can highly recommend if you like something different. It's a great action puzzle game.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You bet.
So
And do you think this is being done with the idea that maybe there's a Pikmin 4 coming down the road?
I don't know. I mean, but I think it's just another title they optimized from the Wii U.
Right, right.
Because I mean, they did Tropical Freeze and
Hmm.
Super Mario Brothers U, or whatever the the side scrolling one, right?
Right, right.
They re-released that as well. Even Mario Kart is
That's
Um,
true. Although at some point we should be getting a sequel for Mario Kart,
hopefully,
probably. Yeah, it's
hopefully,
been a while.
but it's still, I like. I think Switch is still on a roll, and I think
Hmm.
this will give a lot of people chance to play it who never had a chance to play it on Wii U.
That's right. Will it tide over the people until they do another direct?
I don't know, because I don't know how many people caught this news this week.
Yep, that's true.
Right?
Has been a while. Oh boy.
So it's hard to say. We'll see, but still exciting nonetheless. Also, this week, a Suicide Squad game has actually been confirmed by Rocksteady Studios.
Oh yeah, okay.
There
Okay.
had been speculation, and apparently there's a DC fandom event coming on August 22nd, and they're gonna have a trailer and gameplay at that. So
Very nice.
yeah. But I mean, have you played any of the Batman Rocksteady games?
I
Like,
own a few. I've never played any, so
yeah, I fall into that exact same category.
yeah. I mean, they're supposed to be amazing.
Yeah.
Just yeah, I haven't played them.
Um, I got one of them on the Wii U, and I put about an hour into it, and I was loving it. I was like,
Hmm.
oh, this is neat, and the fighting and the detective work, and and then the game crashed, and I'm like, I'm not happy anymore, so I never went back. Uh huh. So that's about an hour and a half. That's about my
Right.
experience with. And I liked it, and I keep meaning to go back. And I've bought a bunch of them on sale on the PS4, and they
Hmm.
just sit there in my library with every other, with all the other titles that I've been meaning to get to.
So have they said anything about it being the same kind of game, like the built around that same engine and the?
No, but that's kind of their jam. So
Sure, that's what they do. All right.
also with very little fanfare this week, Sony had a mini state of play.
It was a full blown state of play, buddy.
Was
Nothing
it?
mini about it. Yeah, it went like an hour.
Oh,
I know based on the amount of things they said, it
mm-hmm.
may as well have been a mini one. This was a full blown state of play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't a mini one. They just said this one was going to focus on the PS4 and VR stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
They did talk about some PS5 games, but yeah. Um, the amount you can tell how excited we were by it by the fact none of us actually commented on the page,
Yeah. No news made it to the.
including Brent, who's our resident Sony
Yeah.
fanatic. But I don't know. You've got the same page open I do. I think you got. Is it the GameSpot article or?
I've got Eurogamer here.
Okay. Well, we can just alternate if you like. I don't know if.
Well, why don't you start, and I'll look up that the GameSpot one.
Sure. The first thing they hit was the Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. They showed a little bit more about that. They had some gameplay of Insanity Beach. Had some wall running. Talked a bit about some guys from Toys for Bob. And they said that there'll be no microtransactions, which is
Oh,
funny. That's a feature now. Like, really, I'm glad there isn't, but it's like, hey, by the way, we're not going to charge you for a whole bunch of more money. Cool, thanks for
well,
being a human.
I
That's
think
great.
I think they needed to say that though, because wasn't there a leak a few weeks ago on one of the stores where something showed up accidentally as being Crash Bandicoot 4 DLC
Yeah,
or
it
something?
was or cosmetic things or something
Yeah.
like that, right? And they said, yeah, there'll be stuff like that, but it's all outfits will be added. You earn them throughout the game. There's no money. So, but yeah, it looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Crash Bandicoot 4, I've never beaten any of them, but I will try this one again because it's Crash. And they're really going hard on the fact that this is the fourth one, not the eighth or ninth one.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones didn't exist. The PlayStation 2 era of Crash Bandicoot was not a thing.
Wiped from existence.
Yep.
All right.
You bet. You bet.
They looks like they showed some Hitman 3 stuff.
Yeah.
Oh. Braid, I have no idea what that is.
Braid's an old. It was like the first big indie game. So you're a little dude and you're going after a princess, but you have the power to rewind time. So it becomes a huge play mechanic.
Okay.
And it was also it became famous for it had like you have little things you can collect to 100% the game.
Mm-hmm.
There was one that you actually had to sit on a cloud. I think it was for like 2.5 or 3 hours. And it was in there as a, hey, by the way, because the cloud was very slowly moving.
Okay.
And eventually got to the point where you could jump off it and clear a ledge, right? But that was just for a collectible. You didn't have to do it. But
Just
someone
for
figured out you could.
A completionist type thing.
Okay. Yep. It was a smack of completionists everywhere. So.
Okay. The Pathless.
Yep.
They
showed it on PS5. I mean, it looks pretty, but
Splunky 2.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Spelunky, the game that it takes great delight in killing you again and again and again.
Over and over and over.
Over and over, yeah.
Aeon Must Die.
Yep.
Apparently. I really should have watched this, but I never.
You didn't miss a lot. I'll stop you somewhere if there's anything that was kind of cool. Yeah.
They showed some Bug Snacks stuff.
They did. Still looks pretty cool. Like freaking crazy cool. But I got a feeling this is going to be a real big hit. And yeah, they showed a little bit of this story. Looked pretty cool.
Awesome. Star Wars Vader Immortal. That one's exciting. I mean, that's been out on Oculus. But yeah, I'm happy it's coming to PSVR because I heard it's great and I want to try it.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like one of those games that with the Move controllers, it's either going to be really, really good or it's going to be damn near unplayable.
Right.
Just because it's like, when they're looking at the stuff, it's like it looks like it would work really well on like the high-end Valve one or a high-end Oculus where you've got like the different tactile and it's like cameras everywhere that monitor your thing, whereas the PS Move's a little more ghetto. I mean, I love it. We both have it. Just wonder when you're trying to get very precise with that lightsaber, just how precise you're going to get with the Move controllers. So hopefully really well.
I mean, Beat Saber plays well.
Yeah, but Beat Saber, you're always facing the front.
True. Right.
It knew what it was.
Control, they announced a second DLC for Control. Control is the game I'm going to tackle after I'm done Last of Us. So
nice. Very nice.
The Pedestrian. Quirky platforming. That
looked really cool, actually. It's a whole bunch of street signs, and you manipulate the street signs, and then your character has to go through them and it's just like a constant, never-ending series of puzzles.
Oh.
It's a very cool. It's been around for a while on PC.
Okay.
And it looks very cool.
And Hood.
Yeah.
A PS5. Oh, it's a PS5 game.
It is. Yep. Some people thought this looked really cool. It wasn't for me. I wonder if they're going for like a Robin Hood look, and that's where the Hood thing comes in. But yeah.
Temtem, apparently a Pokemon-like game.
Sure. That's all you need to know about that one.
And then Godfall, action RPG.
They showed a lot of this. This is Gearbox's new game, and they showed a bit of gameplay, and they talked with the guy, and I heard, I don't know, I heard some people talking about it. My favorite quote was someone saying it was god awful.
Yeah.
It looks boring. Like, to me, I'm sure it's out there. It's excited for someone, and you know what? For every single person who doesn't like a game, there's going to be people who love it.
Right.
And that's important. But it did not look like the game for me. It was. It looked pretty generic.
Well, I mean, Gearbox makes.
They do.
Borderlands.
Yes, I was just tweeting, or I just messaged you that I finally beat it, and
yeah,
you forgot it already.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they got the shooting and everything down for that, you know?
Yeah. You know what else Gearbox made? Duke Nukem Forever.
Right.
Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Right.
Yeah. For every Borderlands, there's a Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Gotcha.
So, we'll see. I hope it's really good.
Okay.
I don't really care. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Pretty quiet week of news.
They still won't. No one blinked on the price. I actually, on our audio podcast site where I title these podcasts, I said, who's going to blink first, Microsoft or Sony?
Mm-hmm.
And still no one has. Like,
no.
It's going to be September soon.
Yeah.
And you can't even pre-order yet.
Do we, there's no events we've heard of coming this week, right?
I don't think so. I sure don't recall seeing it on other much better websites than ours.
Yeah, I don't either.
Let me check one of them now. I mean, they've been talking about Nintendo maybe having I don't see anything.
Yeah.
But somebody's, like, they've just got to drop it at some point, right? Much like our Edmonton Oilers dropped out of the playoffs. Yeah.
It was their choice, though, right? Like
it was. They totally.
Yes. Rob, why don't you tell me what you've been playing this week?
Well, I finally, after I think it was 50 some hours, finally beat Borderlands 3.
Nice.
And what a treat the whole way. Like, I'm not going to have any. I'm not going to have any grandeur or any. I'm not going to make you guys think I beat it on normal, because I didn't. I played it on easy because I want to enjoy video games when I only have a couple hours a day, if that, at night, you know. So it was still plenty hard for me. I'm not a first-person shooter guy, but I was really enjoying the game, so I kept playing it, and may go back and play it on normal eventually here, but just I don't really know what else to say about Borderlands 3 other than it was amazing. The story was great. Randy Pitchford's still a jerk. That's not changing anything, but his company sure makes good games. So now there's lots of DLC I can look into as well. So
that was going to be my next question, is that if that time was including the DLC.
No.
Hey? Okay.
No. I mean, I do a lot of side quests.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of guy who will stare at two different guns, and you get about 18 trillion guns. I will stare at two guns in my inventory for 10 minutes trying to decide which one I want to use.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm that guy. So not the shortest period of time, but great game. And also on a recommendation from yourself, I picked up Roundgaurd for the Switch, and that's been my going to sleep type game. Where
mine too.
That. Yeah,
so it's funny. Like when I was trying to sell it to you, I'm like, this game is great, I'm like, and then I talked about it on the podcast, but sometimes I get the feeling it's like, you're like, yeah, oh yeah, that sounds great, Ryan. Sounds like a great game. Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised that you went in and picked her up and actually enjoyed it.
Well, I'm going to share a secret with you right now.
Uh-huh.
When you were kept using the word Peggle to describe it, I had no idea what Peggle was.
Oh.
I knew it was a game, but I'd never played it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like, okay, it's in a game like Peggle.
Oh.
You may as well have said, oh, it's a game like
okay.
Barbie's Pony Dress-A-Lot.
Then that makes all. I assume Peggle is like Candy Crush, and that everyone has.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm going to make that recommendation to you then, Rob.
Candy Crush?
No, Peggle.
I played Candy Crush.
Julie's even giving me the thumbs up. She loves Peggle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm really taken to this game. Like, there's so much strategy. Even though you're just bouncing around, there's so much strategy to it. Like,
yeah. I mean, so Peggle is all about clearing blocks. Like, there's no.
You're not fighting orcs and trolls.
Yeah, you're never actually fighting anything, but you have what keeps you honest in that game is you have a limited amount of shots to clear certain amounts of things.
Okay.
But same idea, you shoot from the top and try and bounce the ball around and.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah, okay. But,
yeah, Roundgaurd's it was in a good price range. Like, it's $25 Canadian now. It's like, it's got you mentioned Slay the Spire, and perfectly, like, you're choosing which path you're going.
Mm-hmm.
You're fighting bosses, and
you get upgrades that you can use after.
Yeah.
So,
and the character writing was very witty too. Like, there's a lot of really funny banter back and forth with your characters. So
yeah,
it's really good. I recommend it.
Yeah,
Get it. Do it.
So okay, since we're talking about Roundgaurd,
sure.
Have you tried all the characters?
No.
I've
been sticking with the fighter because
okay.
I just like his character.
Well, I started with the wizard, and pretty challenging actually.
Right.
But it was also because I was getting used to the game. So then I'm like, I played a couple rounds with the wizard, and then tried the fighter, and I find that, like, I don't know, like when you play Slay the Spire, you kind of know when it's getting harder because you'll have a couple battles where you just barely make it through.
Yep.
This one, like, I got on the fighter and I made it so far, and then bam, just hit a wall, like just. Like, not even like a chance to, or or it might have been I lost a lot of life or something took a lot of damage, and so, but I find, and then I tried the rogue and kind of the same thing. Like, I made it so much further than I ever did with the wizard, and it almost seemed like the battles were too short. Like, for all the stuff in between, like, I'm like, okay, come on, let's get to the next battle.
Yeah, I find it's one of those games that you're really at the mercy of the RNG as well, right? Where it's if you're having a good run and you happen to get just a couple of items that help you get through, then it's go really well. But if you get to that boss and you don't have some way of healing or some way of protecting yourself, it's like you do that first shot and you're like, oh, I lost 100 health. Cool, I'm dead.
Yeah.
But then you start playing again right away. That's why it's a roguelike, right? So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm still having a lot of fun with it, but I think I'd like the difficulty spread out a little more than just feeling uber powerful for 25 levels and then level 26. I just not even a chance.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, anything else you've been playing here this week, or is that?
Nope, that's it. I've been between that and just doing video editing for the video coming up, but I'll get to that later. So you go ahead.
Okay. So, besides my two other regular games, Overwatch on Switch and Well, Overwatch on Switch right now is having a Summer Olympics event,
Ah, gotcha.
which is something they would have been running during the Summer Olympics had they not been,
Right.
you know,
You know,
canceled.
yeah.
But so that's kind of interesting. They have like a weekly unlock. You win 9 games in a week, and you get all the unlocks for that week. It's a 3-week event apparently.
Okay.
So, um, and Last of Us, I got to put a ton of time into it today,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to be literally like minutes away from finishing it, but but
Excellent. Excellent.
I literally messaged you. I'm like, okay, just message me like right when you're ready, because I'm playing Last of Us.
And you're like, just one more level. Because it was getting to be a running joke, I think, with everyone who was, whether, because I was playing Borderlands 3 every
Yeah,
week. You were playing Last of Us 2 every week. And like, who's actually going to beat this game first? Like,
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, uh, you definitely got more time in on Borderlands, because I checked my save game when I saved here right before I came, and I'm at 34 hours.
right, right.
So yeah, you could have beat Borderlands twice.
That's right. That's right. And I was going to message you too. Like, I posted that Borderlands 3 was free all weekend on Miles
Right.
States, and I was
Yeah,
like, well, you
yeah.
should really just try, and I'll do some high level escorts to you there, and you can
Yeah.
walk with some skags, and I'll just point my finger at them.
So do
And
you think I should go back and play 2 before I play 3, or does it matter?
it doesn't matter. They kind of catch you up a little bit. Borderlands 2 is a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, and I'm sure you probably have 12 copies of it.
I have it on Steam.
Yeah.
I bought it on Steam, and yeah, just never got around to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great series. I think you'd really like it. I think they're really close in quality, 2 and 3.
Okay.
One was the start of it all, but I don't think anyone would say one is the first or the best game in the series, because they were figuring stuff out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It was but yeah, 2 or 3. If you have 2 for free anyway, you may as well give it a try on 2.
Yeah. I
Kind
think
of
I'm
catch
good.
up. So yeah.
I'm gonna. So the other game, I actually wasted a lot of time on yesterday. Got
Oh, yeah.
3/4 of the way through the campaign, is Orcs Must Die 2.
Oh, nice. Okay.
How have I never played and or heard of this game before?
I don't know. I thought this would have been right up your alley,
This
being a
is
tower defense kind of game. Yeah.
this is absolutely up my alley. Like,
Yeah.
I, I I was looking through my Steam library, and I'm like, oh yeah, they announced Orcs Must Die 3 coming to Stadia. Oh, I'll download it here, give it a try, see what the hubbub's about. And,
Mm-hmm.
like 4 hours later, I'm like,
That's a great feeling, right? When you
yeah,
find a game and you're like, it's a game I love.
I
I will play
love
this
this.
more.
And yeah, and I played a little bit, even a couple hours this morning too, before hopping over to Last of Us. So
Nice.
I've had an actually very good gaming weekend this weekend.
Excellent. So you're going to renew your Stadia Pro so you can play the third one?
You know what? like as much as I've fallen in love with this game, over the past 2 days, like that's seriously something I would consider for well, oh, but I gotta buy it through them, don't I?
No, it's a Stadia Pro free game, I believe.
It will be?
I believe it is right now. Let me.
Oh, I thought it was coming.
I don't think so. I got my Stadia up here right now. Just give me a sec.
Yeah, yeah.
Do 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 do. It is on. It is a Stadia Pro game right now.
Oh,
And even if you were to buy it, it was $40.
okay.
Yeah, claim with Pro. So if you had Stadia Pro, you could be playing it for free.
So I even feel worse because my brother-in-law bought me this game on Steam probably 3 Christmases ago.
Hopefully he doesn't watch the show.
And he bought me this and Faster Than Light. And I played a lot of
Oh, yeah.
Faster Than
Okay.
Light.
Yep. That's a game I've been meaning to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the roguelike nature of that. And
yeah. I'd like to go back and play it. Kind of, I don't know why I couldn't wrap my head around roguelike before.
Yep.
But yeah, that's definitely something. Definitely something I want to try out again. Also, while we're talking about libraries and games that I'm just looking at my Star Command Galaxies.
Oh, okay.
Is a game I need to go back and try on PC because he bought that for me for Christmas 2 years ago because I told him how much I love Star Command on iOS.
Right.
Because I saw it on my iPad. I was looking in the store the one day, and it was like $7 or $8. I'm like, oh, this looks like a super cool game though. And I read some reviews and I downloaded it and ended up losing an entire weekend to it. It was just such a great a game you could play over and over, and not a roguelike or anything though, but yeah. Anyways, so I would like to go back and play Star Command Galaxies.
Very nice. Another game we should look at too that Brent's been recommending to us.
Oh yeah,
is Grounded. We have to play some Grounded together, even though it's in beta.
Yeah,
Have you watched any gameplay of
that? Just little clips here and there.
It looks. I don't have arachnophobia, but man, those spiders look creepy as all freaking ghetto. Like you see videos of people getting. Oh, we lost Ryan.
No.
He's gone. He's back.
Oh, just a second.
That's Ryan's dog, everybody. Oh, now you got all. There we go. You're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, it looks like the spiders look so freaking terrifying in that game. Like, and then they catch you and like one shot kill you, and it's like this is a game aimed at kids. Like, it's got the whole Honey I Shrunk the Kids vibe to it, but you see like people getting torn apart by spiders. It's like, it looks like a great game.
I hear the online play, like you can just adventure and build bases and
you bet.
Stuff,
it's a survival game. You're doing all that stuff. So
yeah.
And I got one more for you. One more game we got to try, but we'd have to buy it. And have you heard of Fall Guys? It's a new one by Devolver Digital. It's on Steam, I believe, and PlayStation 4.
Right. I've seen it pop up in the stores, but
do you remember Most Extreme or MXC? That old Japanese, yeah. It is exactly like you have like 60 people on a server, and you got these little floppy, cartoony dudes, and a variety of different little mini games that you're trying to do. And it looks absolutely awesome. It's like $20, and I've watched some guys like Let's Playing it, and just so many fun, good times. Right, like looks really good.
Okay,
Fall Guys. That's the Rob Lego recommendation. I'm going to make that a new segment of our show. This will be where the bumper would be right here.
Yeah, it'll come floating in. So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Yeah, excellent.
We got off on some segues there.
We had a good time
with some recommendations, and
we had a good time doing it though, and that's the main thing.
Absolutely. So Cheap Bag Game Challenge this week. You were just gonna play Friday the 13th, but you decided to take it one step further and make it something even better than just
it should hopefully by the time this comes out it should be available already, but I'm doing a whole special Friday the 13th video. Should be right away. It's been a lot of editing, a lot of recording, but I was telling Ryan, I owned this game as a kid and I played a ridiculous ton of it because at the time you got a game, you had to play it. You weren't going to get another game for a long time, right? So
yeah,
I tried to I played a literal crud ton out of it. So me acting surprised at how bad it was not going to be very good TV, as it were. So decided to do a little bit more of a video on that, more of a review, like a note, more of an edited version. And because if you want to see the gameplay, just edited gameplay of an awful game, you can go check out Ryan's gameplay as he submitted himself to that. But gonna do something a little different. Should be up by the time this video comes up, so keep an eye out.
You should poke yourself in the eye.
This is just like playing Friday the 13th.
I didn't keep up my end of the deal this week. I forgot to do a retro game challenge.
Yeah, it's the summer, folks. It's
Sorry.
Be,
to tell the truth, there are 3 days this week that were over 30, and I was in my pool in the evenings. So, sorry, not sorry.
Yep. His private underground pool.
Yeah, private underground pool. No. Just one of those put together ones, but I was out there floating away.
Yep. Here in Edmonton, we only get 6 or 7 days a year above 30, so we got to take advantage of them.
Mm-hmm.
Rest of the time, it's snow.
And freezing rain.
And freezing rain.
And just snow and freezing rain all the time.
Yep. Just nothing like a cold November rain.
All right. So I added, under the making us grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
I added Joy-Con stuff because I love Joy-Cons. I love my Switch, and
yep.
So this Joy-Con I replaced
Joy-Con right there.
Yeah, I replaced a little while ago with that Hori one that I still am using and loving.
Yeah, absolutely. They're great.
So this one drifts up when
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So this week, compared to that one, started drifting down.
He was just trying to compensate, man.
So I've got the two Joy-Cons here. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna try sending them to Nintendo. Go through the whole repair, because I bought when I bought that Hori one, because I didn't know how good or bad it was going to be. I also bought a brand new set of Joy-Cons, which I hadn't opened yet.
Right.
So I had to this week now.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, I sent in my request, and then it tells you to check your status on the Nintendo page. And half hour after I sent the request in, there was nothing on the Nintendo page. Like I wasn't able to log into it, and they're saying maybe repair centers aren't open yet and stuff. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's the problem. But next day I got an email saying, your request for repair has been accepted.
Oh, okay.
And here's a shipping label and like all these instructions how to package and ship it. So I will keep everyone updated as to how long this entire process takes of getting my Joy-Cons fixed.
Right.
So,
I was going to say that's almost a happy ending. That's not really a grumpy ending.
No, it's a potential grumpy.
Sure.
It could go either way right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll be sitting on the edge of our seats.
As you should be.
Not just because of our sore backs. Holy moly.
Well, the good news is, Rob, that's it. That's all we got.
Yep.
You can do a back stretch and...
Gonna go lie down for a little bit. I've been sitting in this chair recording all day, so...
Yeah. Gotcha.
Or go for a walk. I hear that people still do that.
Ugh.
Got to wear a couple masks, but I'll put one in the front, one in the back, one on top of my head to hide my bald spot.
Just walk with 2 things of Lysol spray, and like just as you're walking, holding down the...
Yeah. If someone comes within 6 feet of me, just spray them down.
Mm-hmm.
Give me my space.
Absolutely.
Flatten the curve. Sorry.
Well, that's it, everyone, for this week's show. As always, you can check out our original content on thegrumpyoldgamers.com, where if you go check out right now, Damon has posted a very excellent article on the Xbox, what's it, Pro controller?
Yeah, I think it's the Pro Elite Super Duper controller version 2.
Elite Pro 2 controller.
Yes. Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
Very good review. Check it out.
Mm-hmm. And as always, check out our Facebook page. That's where most of the activity is. A little lighter right now because it's summer and everyone's outside doing stuff, but there also hasn't been a whole lot of news. So,
it's very true.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thanks for checking us out, everyone, for watching/listening. And have yourselves a good evening. See ya.
Take care. Bye-bye.